I'm going to turn over to my play-by-play partner, Hawk Harrelson.
All right, Stone Pony, thank you. And once again, good evening, everyone, and welcome to White Sox baseball right here over WCIU Channel 26. First of this three-game set. There's Johnny Danks. Gets ready to start. And okay, it's now 7-11 and time for the first pitch. And it's upstairs. And tonight's game is presented by 7-Eleven. Francisco pops it up right side. Chris gets 2 pitches, 1 out.
It's a pleasure to see Chris back in the lineup. I talked to him before the game today, and he really had a lot of plaudits for Herm Schneider and his staff. And he talked about how he got back and how Herm was able to use balance to determine when he was ready, how bad the sprain was. And believe me, if it wasn't for Hermie and the boys, he wouldn't be back this quickly. So it's good to see him back in the lineup.
Here's Mark DeRosa. Takes first pitch strike. Indians come in at 23 and 33, hitting at 269 as a club. They have a 5.38 ERA, and they are 11 and 19 on the road. As there's a little chopper down to Beckham. On the move, guns him out. Well, Herm Schneider, as I've said many times before, it's hard to say anybody's the best, but you might be able to tie him, but you can't beat him. Now all of a sudden you throw Brian Ball and the rest of the guys in the equation. They have saved the White Sox literally millions of dollars, headed up by that guy right there, Herm Schneider, over the years in players not going on the DL.
He's also sitting next to Carlos Quentin, and he's going to be expected back and ready to go when his time on the DL is over. But Hermie does just a great job, and along with Alan Thomas, who takes care of preventative aspects of it, the strength coach, they're just terrific.
That pitch is outside to Victor Martinez, hitting at 346. 9 homers, he's driven in 40. Martinez 2 for 8 lifetime against Danks, and of the 2 hits, both of them left the premises. And there's a strike.
It was a good backdoor breaking ball. That looked like a cutter that he threw on the outside corner. John gets that control back again. He's going to have a big year.
That's back to the middle. Alexi's got him in a 1-2-3 inning. After a half inning of play, it's the Indians nothing and the good guys coming to bat.
The White Sox lineup will be Posednik, scored 8 runs over his last 10 games. Then Ramirez and Thome, the DH, with Konerko, Pierzynski, Anderson, Wise, Beckham hitting 8th, looking for his first hit, and Chris Getz at second base hitting 9th. The defense behind Pavano, Ju Francisco and Garco left to right, with DeRosa, Peralta, Barfield, and Martinez. Shopik behind the plate, Carl Pavano on the hill. He's looking for his 5th loss. His ERA up over 5. This his 12th start. Opponents have hit just under 300, and that's a big number. 73 hits in 63 innings.
And before we show you our picks to click, you at home select yours as Scotty Pides slaps it foul. DeRose laying on the grass at third. Martinez off the line and even with the bag at first. Outfield swung around to the left. Sox come in at 25 and 28, hitting at .253 as a club with a 4.30 ERA. And the count 0-2.
Seems somewhat hard to believe, but this is the 54th game of the year, and that means we're exactly at the 1/3 pole.
That ball hit hard in the center field. Francisco back. He can't get there. Bounces over the fence. That's that. Come. Cost us a triple right there.
Well, that would have been an easy triple, and that shows you tonight when it gets a little warmer how lively the ballpark is. But Scotty Pides, going after his 3rd triple of the year, instead winds up with a 2-base hit. That was his 6th. Francisco doesn't get a good read on that ball. And remember, Grady Sizemore is not in the lineup. He's a terrific center fielder, but he could be lost anywhere from 2 to 8 weeks, depending on if he needs surgery or not.
Tries to bunt it and just jabs at it, fouls it off. So the count 0-1. Well, Sizemore wouldn't have got that ball anyway because Sizemore plays, he moves around a lot more than Ben Francisco is going to. The Bertucci boys in the house.
Bobby's looking resplendent tonight.
Always.
He's got those bell-bottom shirts. Looks terrific.
That's cold. Stone cold. Is that ball into center field? Pides going to tag on this one. He'll have no problems getting into third as that ball is really carrying well to center field. But I was getting ready to say Sizemore plays Pides and most of our small gets way over to left center field.
Well, most of the American League does. And failing to bunt, Ramirez hits this slider far enough, probably 390 feet from home plate. Scotty getting to third easily. Now, Eric Wedge has got the infield back. The shift is on for Thome. He's going to concede the run if it's hit to anybody except for Pavano.
Thome hitting at .252, 9 homers, 32 driven in as he takes first pitch strike. Thome 7 for 20 lifetime off Pavano with a homer. That's well outside. That's where I thought that first pitch was going to be, either well inside or well outside.
One of the big breaks we caught was as Asdrubal Cabrera, who was hitting .316, went on the disabled list. Tried to break up a play at second base, and his shoulder popped out. He's DL'd and won't be available. Barfield is taking his place.
Off speed, hit him way out in front. Jimmy now has got to cinch it up and hunker down. 1 out, 1-2 the count with Pides at third.
For Pavano, he's got a pretty good strikeout to walk ratio. 50 strikeouts, only 13 walks.
Tried to eat him up inside right there. And the count hangs at 1-2. Pavano, big man, 6'5", 240 pounds, out of West Palm Beach, Florida.
He started way back in 1994 and was once the pride of the Boston Red Sox organization, but that was a long time ago.
Try to go back in there again.
There's a lifetime record. 6 complete games and 186 starts. How times have changed.
And a full count. He's still not going to try to give in to him right here unless he makes a mistake.
One of the things Jimmy's been doing recently is taking more pitches inside. That's a good sign.
You could almost Made him a 5-2 favorite to throw that change up.
There's no doubt. And if he throws another one, which he could possibly do, this one he's going to throw outside off the plate and invite Jimmy to swing at it. But we'll see what Kelly Shopik has in mind. That's an inside fastball.
Vano doesn't want anything to do with that.
No, that's the change. That's the backdoor slider.
Well, he made the right decision. 2 down.
A pitcher has to throw a pitch with conviction, and he went through the third sign, and he threw that pitch where he wanted to. It was a strike and a good one. And just that little bit of movement, and there wasn't much, but enough for Jimmy to go down on strikes.
So that'll bring up Konerko. Pauly has been swinging about well, even though the numbers lately would not show that. He has been hitting it right on the money. He's been barreling it up and coming up empty. Pauly 2 for 9 lifetime off Pavano. Takes first pitch strike.
There's a really nice shot, and it shows you that Francisco playing straight away in center field and Barfield up the middle.
So with the count 0-2, let's check out our picks to click. Jim Angio, our Hall of Fame director and the crew, they went with Biscuits. Lisa, Steve, and Larry, they're going to go with Gordon Beckham. Terry Hanley, Mike Williams, Carl Robito, Roger Clare, and all the great folks out at Bolingbrook and I are going to go with Jim Thome. And, of course, those picks brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Visit southwest.com today. Checks it up, fouls it off, got a piece of Shopik.
Only catches this one off the bat, fortunately not off the hand. That got the foot of Shopik. Now there's very little speed in right field in Ryan Garco. He's in there because of his bat. Martinez taking a day off from behind the plate is at first base. Kelly Shopik behind the plate.
And that is just foul. Says Brian Knight at third.
DeRosa off the line a bit. And you see why base runners always take that lead in foul territory. You get hit, no problem. Except for you, of course, if it's a line drive.
Gap out there in left center. And what a beautiful night here in the beautiful city. Wow. A beautiful evening.
Temperature-wise, this is about
73 degrees right now.
Just where it should be.
The 2-2. Good eye, good check. Full count. Pierzynski on deck.
Umpires tonight, Dana DeMuth behind the plate, Doug Eddings at first, Hunter Wendelstedt is at second, Brian Knight at third. This is a good call because it's just off the corner. Good eye by Paul Konerko.
Payoff pitch. That's into left field. Here comes Shu. He's going to make the catch, and that'll retire the side. So we get the leadoff double. Can't get him in. It'll be Chute, Peralta, and Hafner here in the top of the second to face Johnny Danks. That's high into left field. Pides is there. One pitch, one out.
White Sox group and party area outings, priority seating for your group of 20 or more fans. You can save $1 to half off each ticket depending on the size of your group in the party areas like the fan deck, warning track, or an individual game diamond suite. Call 312-674-1000 or visit whitesox.com for more details.
Ron Kittle, Rookie of the Year back in 1983, hit 35 homers, knocked in 100. Big man from Gary. There's a strike. One of the stronger guys to ever play this game. Here's Johnny Peralta hitting at 263. Rips that one foul.
The Indians thought and still think that Peralta's in for a big year. Although when you look at those power numbers, somewhat surprising. He has good power. He's only hit a couple of home runs this year. And he has very little of any speed.
Well, there have been a couple of guys, one in particular, to prove that you don't have to have a whole bunch of speed to play a terrific shortstop. But if that being the case, it would behoove you, if you didn't have and you were a shortstop, it would behoove you to have a staff that had pretty good control.
Probably talking about the big guy that's
no question
a Hall of Famer, Cal Ripken.
Yep. Cal didn't run a lick, and the only thing he did was make all the plays.
Well, he put himself in a position, they went over the defensive charts, where they knew where each and every pitcher was going to put it, and the pitching staff was able to put it there.
Well, that's the key.
Yeah, it's one thing to have the charts, it's another thing to execute the pitches.
When you get a pitching staff like he had there, you know if that catcher, when he puts it down and sets up, it's going to be in the vicinity.
And then you either play a guy up the middle, you play him in the hole, depending on how the pitcher is supposed to pitch him, and then you don't pitch away from the defense.
Well, you also have to have a terrific perception like Cal had, because I've seen him, that's something from the time he came in. Seen him play a lot of ball games, and he's one of the few shortstops that I've seen. He will be moving, be gone, change up. Cal would be moving before the ball was hit.
Well, he did that, and center fielders do that also. This is a real good changeup by John Danks. He got a little higher than he might have liked, so it wasn't location, but it was the velocity and the motion that fooled Peralta.
There are a lot of center fielders who do it. There are not many shortstops who do it.
No. Well, not many shortstops can read the ball off the bat, but I remember talking with a very good third baseman by the name of Tim Wallach. He said he read the angle of the bat and would move to either side accordingly.
There's the strike to Hafner, hitting at 270, 4 homers. He's driven an 8. Tim Wallach was a very good third baseman.
And I asked him, how do you get a jump? And he said, I read the angle of the bat. He said, I actually watch the ball in the contact area, read the angle of the bat, and go that way.
And the count 0-2.
This is going to be a big key for the Indians, and he's been a big key through all of his injuries, and they've been many over the last couple of years. He's the guy supposed to hit 35 to 40 home runs and drive in 120.
Just off the corner, good try.
AJ wants it out there. Johnny Danks misses, but throws it in a good spot. If you're going to miss away off the plate, not inside.
Beckham, ball had a lot of spin on it. Guns over to first base in time. So that is 6 up, 6 down for Danks.
The White Sox Volunteer Corps was out in full force earlier today at the Greater Chicago Food Depository. Volunteers were joined by Clayton Richard, Scott Linebrink, Chris Getz, and Bill Melton, packing bags of nutritious food that will be distributed to 35 Chicago public schools. This was the second service event for the White Sox Volunteer Corps. Fans interested in participating should check out the community section of whitesox.com.
No score, bottom of the second inning. It'll be Pierzynski, Anderson, and Wise to face Carl Pavano. Takes it up high. And that is in the LG Skyline Club seats to the left.
Talked with Carl Willis, and he was talking about the scouting report on A.J. Pierzynski and some of the other free swingers in the league. He says you get 0-2 on these guys, you just don't know where to throw the ball because they'll swing and hit the ball pretty hard regardless of where you throw it, except if you try to hit them.
It's an old saying in the game of baseball. It's so true. It's hard to hit sitting on your butt.
It's real true.
Little chopper back to the middle and in center field. He'll take it. Leadoff man aboard.
Pavano's a big man, and yet this ball, this high changeup, gets over his head, and then it just trickles through the infield. So they've got very little speed. That shows you the lack of range on the part of Peralta. But a good way to start off this second inning, and Brian Anderson now pretty much close to 100% healthy after that virus that swept through the clubhouse.
Average at 263. One homer, he's driven in 6. There was a good example of what we talked about last inning. There's a ball right there on a changeup. If Ripken were out there short, he would have seen it was away. He would have probably been moving to his left before the ball was hit.
Here's another change. Let's see what Brian does with it.
Takes it for the strike.
Pavano has a good changeup. It's his second best pitch. He goes fastball, change, and then slider.
The last time we went down to Fort Lauderdale to play the Marlins, he was in that series against us. And this is going to be close, but no cigar. But I think in that series, I think we saw Burnett, Beckett, and Pavano.
Now they had a couple of unbelievable pitching staffs, kind of back to back. One grew up really after the other one left, and they were traded away. They disassembled that first championship team and then grew into that second one in 2003. Boy, were they tough.
Well, you know who the most impressive of the three was? Pavano.
His option year was a huge year for him and led to a big contract with the Yankees.
It was a $40 million option year.
Yes, it was. And for that, the Yankees got a hearty handshake and a hi-ho silver, because he was hurt most of those 4 years. But they can afford it. That's the good thing.
Well, you know, there's baseball money and then there's Yankee money.
That's exactly right.
1-0 the count to Wise.
Give you an idea of the 4 years with New York. He got there in 2005. He went 4-6. 2006, he didn't do anything for the big club. 2007 was 1-0. 2008 was 4-2. Those were 4 lost years for Carl Pavano, but things are going well for him this year.
Big hack, and the count 1-1. Well, there have been a few similarities of that nature. Pavano with the Yankees, our own Wilson Alvarez when he went down to Tampa Bay.
Jared Wright with the Yankees, and they got both of them the same year.
Yeah.
And Jared Wright was hurt most of the time.
Wilson signed a 5-year, $35 million contract with Tampa Bay, and I think he won less than 25 games in the 5 years.
Those are expensive games.
Yeah. 1-2.
Well, the Indians signed Pavano on the hopes that he could resurrect his career. And he's come back and won 5 games this year for a last-place team. So they've gotten truly more than they could have expected out of him, and he's actually thrown the ball real well.
That's flipped into left field. Chu's right there, and that's out number 2. So that'll bring up Gordon Beckham.
There's no better time for your first major league hit than your next at bat. And he went 0 for 3 yesterday, so here's his next at bat. Those are the numbers at AA. Even more impressive at AAA, although he was there for only a short period of time. He hit .467.
Well, the combined numbers at Birmingham and Charlotte: 326, 4 homers, 25 RBIs, and 23 doubles. And Birmingham is not a good home run park.
There are the numbers in AAA. Pretty impressive at Charlotte.
High pop up right side. Garco now is going to let Barfield.
Well, Garco's going to let Barfield take
have everything. So that'll do it. And we'll go to the third, still scoreless. Ryan Garco, Kelly Shopik, and Josh Barfield. The Indians here in the top of the third. Takes ball 1. Garco hitting at .250. 5 homers, 23 knocked in, but he's hit thanks well. 7 for 19, and of the 7 hits, 4 of them have stayed in the park. And the count 2-0.
Garco also has an on-base percentage just under .350, so he's taking his walks when the guys aren't pitching to him.
Come back and get him. You don't want to walk the leadoff man.
Win an A.J. Pierzynski shirt and tell the White Sox what you think. Simply log on to your computer and take a quick survey. Your answers are confidential. Visit whitesox.com/survey. You can complete the survey before tonight's game ends.
Here's a 29-year-old catcher, Kelly Shopik, hitting at .210. 4 homers. He's driven in 14. Shopik last year hit .261 with 21 homers and knocked in 55. That is 5 in a row.
That ball was in the dirt. Dana DeMuth replaces it. Surprisingly, Shopik's only grounded into 2 double plays this year. He's been to bat 100 times. That despite not having great speed.
Gap in left center. And the count 2-0. So 6 in a row off the mark. There's one. First of a 3-game set tomorrow. Gavin Floyd against Jeremy Sowers. That game will be over Fox. And Sunday, Bartolo Colon against David Huff. And that game over Comcast Sportsnet. And the count evens at 2. Then the Tigers come to town Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Monday is a split doubleheader. Game 1 starting at 1. Game 2 starting at the regularly scheduled time of 7:11.
And the Sox enter 3.5 games in back of Detroit. 4 games back in the loss column.
He gone.
3 pitches in the same spot, and Shopik has some words for Dana DeMuth.
He thought this one was inside.
AJ does a nice job of actually bringing the ball back over the inside corner. So he helps steal a pitch for his pitcher. Always appreciated.
So here's Barfield. Just called up from Buffalo. Curveball high, where he last year was at Buffalo, hit .251, 5 homers, and knocked in 23.
The Indians thought Barfield would be a whole lot better. They traded Kevin Kuzminoff to San Diego for Barfield. Barfield got here, and things haven't worked out very well as an Indian.
One-0 pitch. I don't know why he wants to use the slide step right there with Garco at first.
It doesn't make much sense, and Garco can't run a lick. And Barfield has hurt things over the course of his career, so now he's fallen behind 2-0. It's not a real good idea. I mean, Barfield is not a great hitter, but he's given Danks trouble. And Garco hasn't even tried to steal a base this year.
Watch out. Barfield 3 for 7 with a home run lifetime off of Johnny.
Don Cooper, be wondering about that slide step also.
Coop got his ears lowered.
It's good.
Yeah.
Go to those barber colleges, pick up a break every now and then. That's the night tonight.
Great, it is tonight.
Great Latino band.
And that's up high. 3 balls and a strike. Francisco on deck. That's high into left field. That's a can of corn for Pods. And that's out number 2. They had some rain back east. Tampa Bay in the Bronx against the Yankees rained out. Blue Jays shutting out Kansas City 7-0 up in Canada. As here's Francisco. He popped up to Chris Getz at second. And there's a strike. And you know, it is just so nice to have the lovely Lisa Stone here in Chicago.
Well, she got in today, which was delightful. Larry a little disappointed that Lisa didn't bring him with her, but
Larry's one of the Rhodesian
Ridgebacks, yeah.
Ridgebacks.
Yes, sir. Eat everything in your house if you give him a chance, including your couch.
2 out, 1-1 to count.
The noteworthy part of that Toronto-Kansas City game is that Zach Greinke getting hammered by Toronto. It's going to be interesting, Hawk, because we hit him pretty well when we face him. That's the first time he's been hit this year.
Right.
Now he comes out the next outing and gets hammered in Toronto. You wonder how he'll deal with a little adversity.
Well, he hadn't had much of it.
No.
And that's the, come on, Johnny, no walks. You got DeRosa on deck. He's not afraid to knock in a big run. But, you know, we talked about it in that game against us. We already had 5 complete games. He'd already gone deep in every game he had been.
Trey Hillman was not protecting him innings or pitches.
Well, that's what we talked about. And that's ball 4. So the second walk of the inning will bring DeRosa to the plate with 2 on, 2 out. And when you get a guy like Greinke, he's 25 years old, strong as a mule, very durable, but you still have to protect him. It's just that simple. When you can give him an inning off here or 2 innings off there, you're going to have to do it, because those things won't add up over the course of, 34 starts.
Well, I think Ozzy's done a pretty good job with his starters, trying to make sure that the innings don't pile up all that much for them. I'd like to see his offense come to life.
Big hack, fouls it down.
Talked with Mark today about trade rumors, and they've swirled around him seemingly since he put on that Indian uniform, but he said he's heard, like everybody else, St. Louis might be interested, Milwaukee might be interested, and the Cubs might be interested.
I'm getting ready to say the Cubs would probably love to have him back. He knocked in a lot of big runs for that club last year.
87 in all.
But again, it's just not the number, it's when he did it.
Yeah, he drove in runs late. He drove in big runs. He was a leader in the clubhouse. I think they were diminished because of the loss of DeRosa. Now, he hasn't really had that big a year for the Indians, but he's driven in more runs than anybody on the Cubs. And this is not a good year for him.
2 on, 2 out, the 0-2 pitch. Turned it over, but he missed low and away. If he's going to miss, that's where he's got to miss with that, low and away.
Last time up, he got him out in front, and he rolled over on a changeup. Let's see what AJ wants this time, because Johnny is not shaking him off.
Out and around, hooks it foul. Bottom of the 7th in Detroit, no score. Angels and the Tigers.
That's Irvin Santana, I believe. Boy, as bad as he looked against us, this should be a big performance for him.
And that's chop foul.
And one note about the Tigers, Hawk. I saw last night where Miguel Cabrera pulled up with a bit of a hamstring problem. If he's lost for any length of time, and we can only hope nothing is seriously wrong with him, but there's no reason to not lay him off for a week, especially coming here next. Make sure the big guy's okay for the rest of the year.
Yeah, that's Santana against Verlander tonight. Verlander's 6-2. We're going to catch him in that 5-game series. We're going to catch everybody.
I was going to say, catch some people, and they might ask for volunteers.
The 2-2 pitch. It's full. And you don't want to be going to this next guy on deck.
Well, the next guy is one of the most dangerous hitting catchers in the league, although tonight he's playing first base.
Wearing Tom Seaver's number. Get him right here. Payoff pitch. It is 3-0 Indians.
Looked like one too many changeups. And Mark DeRosa has gone way back in left field. 9-37 on the power numbers. That one was a no-doubter.
Well, you got 2 walks in the inning. You go 3-2 to a veteran hitter. He's seen already 2 other pitches just like the one you're going to throw him. Your odds-on favorite to lose the battle, and that's he lost it.
AJ wants it low and away, but as you can see, John Danks misses low and in. And those are the ones, as soon as you hear the sound, you don't really even have to look at it. Scotty Pods just looked up, didn't even give it the courtesy run.
Well, when you give up 3 runs on 1 hit, that's not good.
Now, and the walk to Francisco really hurt.
There's a strike to Victor. We had a game yesterday where we gave up 3 runs on 1 hit. Had 2 walks. And then Jason Giambi hit a 3-run homer. So a 3-0 Indian lead here in game 1 of this 3-game set.
This inning, 31 pitches for John Danks, and if he loses Martinez, I'd like to see Don Cooper go out there and help him get his composure back.
Line shot caught by Alexei, but the damage is done. The 2 walks come around and score on a 3-2 changeup to Mark DeRosa. Three-run homer, the only hit of the inning by Mark DeRosa after Danks had walked 2 And it's 3-0 Indians. First pitch strike to Chris Getz, hitting at .248, no homers. He's driven in 10. And the count 1-1. Peralta, double pump right there.
Follow your team on your iPhone and iPod Touch with MLB.com at Bat 2009, featuring play-by-play, video highlights, and live audio broadcasts. Visit WhiteSox.com on your iPhone or iPod Touch to purchase.
You know, the interesting part about it, yesterday we had, as I mentioned, 2 walks score on a 3-run homer. The day before, Clayton Richard walked 2 in the second inning, and they both scored. Bartolo in the 5th inning the day before that walked Cust, walked Hanahan, and they both scored.
When your offense is not doing what you think it should be doing and they're not producing, all those walks are magnified. And you can't pitch over them all that often, especially when whoever you're facing is shutting you down. Now, Pavano should not be doing this to this lineup, and hopefully the second time through will be the charm.
Rides that ground rule double, 1 hop over the center field fence. So 4 straight games in 1 inning, 2 walks have come around to score. Right on the outside edge of the outside corner.
Shopik wants it out there, and
it's a ball.
Off the corner. We got one inside, they get one outside. And when you see the catcher take his glove and move it back toward the plate, you know that he believes it's not a strike.
So here's Alexei.
The catcher who believes that he's caught a strike is going to frame it for the umpire. He's not going to move it for him. And Shopik did ease that one over the corner.
That ball was well off the outside corner. Well off. And very quickly the count 0-2. Now too much time is taken. Sox come in with that 13-13 home record. Cleveland 11-19 on the road. Good 2-strike hitter, Alexei. 1-2 the count. As we speak, Cubs leading Cincinnati 2-0. That game in the top of the 7th at the Great American Ballpark. That's not good. 1-2-3 inning, couple of strikeouts, and we trail it 3-0. 0-1 the count to Chu, leading off here in the top of the fourth. 3-1-0 for them. 3 runs on 1 hit. 0-2-0 for us.
And Chu's a pretty good hitter. He's a line drive hitter. He's got power. And it's surprising power at times, but he puts a big part of the bat on the ball a lot.
There's good pitching. He didn't get it. He's a good player.
Those are some pretty impressive numbers with a .406 on base percentage.
He is a good player. Turns away from that one, gets the strike called, and the count evens at 2. Got that breaking ball up. He just hammered it into center field. So the leadoff man aboard, and the lovely Lisa Stone from Scottsdale, Arizona. I'll tell you one thing, she happens to be an attorney, and a divorce attorney at that. So Stone Pony,
Yeah.
hang loose, buddy.
I know, she's seen the end of the movie.
Hang loose. She has her own firm, by the way. As there's a strike to Peralta. Peralta struck out on a changeup.
You can get Peralta to hit the ball on the ground. It's a fairly easy double play. Eric Wedge might do, however, is use a hit and run in this situation, even 3 runs up.
Well, that's not going to deter anything as far as stealing bases or hitting and running or anything.
Not in this park tonight. This is a pretty lively ballpark tonight.
Not in this league.
True.
American League, a little different story. It's amazing how a lot of the things that I grew up with, and then you a little bit later came in, grew up with the same things virtually, have gone by the wayside. And a couple of reasons that has changed. You have the DH,
Smaller ballparks,
and a little livelier baseball.
And a lower mound after 1968.
That's inside 2-2. Travis Hafner on deck. Outfield to the right, gap out there in left center. And the 2-2 pitch. And that's chopped foul. Three runs in the top of the third if you're just tuning in. 3-run homer by Mark DeRosa. And he's out and around that one.
2 straight changes in a row, and he had Peralta well out in front of both of them. He was able to stay alive, however. Peralta's fanned 49 times. That's second on the team. And he'll soon take over for Grady Sizemore, who's on the disabled list.
Should be. Ball is dropped by Getz. Pick it up.
I don't know why he walked after the ball. Cost him a base, and heads up base running by Chu. And it's one thing to miss the ball. It's another thing to walk after it. And that's something Ozzy's not going to like very much. Didn't look like anything wrong with the throw from Beckham.
No, he just took his eye off of it.
Once you miss it, he's looking at it here, and he walks after it. And Chu decides to take advantage of a youngster just loafing on a play.
Well, we know he's not a loafer. That's just what you call a stone brain cramp right there. That's just a brain cramp because he is a hustler. Last word in his vocabulary is loaf. That's just a brain cramp. Meanwhile, we have now, instead of 2 out, nobody on, runners at the corners and nobody out. Hafner can't get it.
Middle infield. Looking for 2. Hafner's another guy doesn't run real well. They can't shift on him quite as radically as they did last time when he squibbed one off the end of the bat. You see Alexi playing up the middle.
And the count 0-2. When you're on a 3-game losing streak and you're trailing 3-0 and a play like that happens with a good crowd on hand. He gone. He can still get out of it though because he got Garko coming to the plate.
Well, if Johnny can pitch over this will give this team a big lift. Because you've got runners at the corners, nobody out. You've just fanned Hafner. I'm not sure what he's looking for, but he gets a perfect pitch. That on the outside corner, you see A.J. framed it. He didn't move the glove. He knew it was a strike and framed it for Dana Demuth.
So Garko started off last inning with a base on balls and came around to score, as did Francisco, who walked on the homer by DeRosa. Checks it up and takes ball 1.
Garko came out of Stanford, was teammates with Carlos Quentin.
Yes, he did. 21 to count. The 28-year-old Stanford graduate. A catcher for the Cardinal.
And a guy who's looking to ground into his 6th double play of the year.
Great concept. Great concept. Just off the inside corner, 2-1.
71 pitches for John Danks. Pretty high total at this point.
Now, Johnny's had 3 good outings this year, but overall, he's just really been big rip right there by Garko to even the count at 2. Been loose out there, so to speak, not compact. You know why I really believe that maybe, especially with runners on base, using that slide step has really messed up his rhythm.
Well, using it with base runners is one thing. Using it with guys who have no intention of stealing just disrupts his timing.
I don't think there's any question about it. And that's chopped foul.
Well, one of the things that they're going to have to do, and I'm not sure if Alexi's doing it, is if they're going to go either with the cutter inside to Garko or the straight change, you got to be ready on the left side. And Alexi is playing him up the middle. There is a gap between them. You see the defense there. Got to be aware of the line at third.
He gone. Yeah.
The fastball away is not going to yield anything pulled to the left side. AJ wanted it inside. That ball is away, but he threw it right by Garko, who doesn't strike out very much because of a very short swing. But he got him that time.
And he cannot ease up just because he struck out this guy last inning, Kelly Shopping. Change up, misses. And the count 2-0.
Shopping's got some pretty big power. He's a line drive hitter. Doesn't hit for much of an average, but he can put a charge into the ball.
That's high and deep in the right field. Wayne is there, and indeed, Johnny's going to pitch over the mistake and bail out Chris Getz. He leaves him right there, but we still trail it 3-0.
Now that was a good job of pitching.
The fourth inning is brought to you by Taco Bell's Fourth Meal. That's the meal between dinner and breakfast, open till 1 a.m. or later. And, of course, it might be just where Lisa and Steve are going after the ball game.
Well, if she has her way, which she usually does, we will find one and stop there before we trot on to the old homestead.
We trail it 3-0 here in the bottom of the fourth inning. It'll be Tomey. It'll be Konerko, and it'll be Pierzynski.
Great job of pitching by John Danks last inning. He had runners at first and third. You know, that also picks up Chris Getz, who made a mistake. And that should give a lift to this offense. Let's see if they can do something with Pavano here in the fourth.
Jimmy struck out his first trip. Takes it up high. They got the shift on, and Barfield standing right in front of it, so that is one out. Checking on our White Sox minor league report last night, something I don't believe I've ever seen or ever recalled. Charlotte last night postponed due to rain.
That you've seen, I know.
Birmingham postponed due to rain. Winston-Salem postponed due to rain. And Kannapolis postponed due to rain.
Well, that is somewhat surprising. That's a fairly large storm.
I don't think I ever recall seeing all of our minor league teams getting rained out in the same
night. You don't get many off days in the minor league, so it might have been welcome.
First pitch, off speed, grabs the strike. Pauly looped out to left field his first trip. We talked about yesterday between the two of us. You got to take into consideration Steve Merritt and Child Bride, that we got 91 years experience between us.
There's no doubt. But I'm going to tell you about something happened today, but go ahead.
And we've never seen 4 rookies start a Major League Series.
No, that was astonishing. But that's the great part about this game, is that you can see as many games as you want to. You can come to as many as you want to. And yet, seemingly once a week, once every 10 days, you're going to see something that you never saw before ever happen. And it seems like everything that can happen has happened, but that certainly isn't the case.
Tops that one foul.
But today, Hawk, I had the thrill of a lifetime. Lisa coming in, I had to stock up on some groceries, including a bottle of one of her favorite wines. And I got to the checkout counter, and the woman carded me. I looked for her dog and cane.
How old was this woman?
Well, I said, young lady, you've made my day.
As Paulie goes down, 2 out. Well, first thing you said, you need any tickets for the night's game?
What I said was, I gave her a 1 and say it's a 50.
AJ chopped the middle, slowly hit just over the head of Pavano into center field. It trickled out in there for a base hit. Guarded you, huh?
She really did. And I handed her my license, and she looked at it. And I said, I'm not kidding. That's how old I am. She handed it back to me. I said, you got to get your eyes checked.
The 0-1 pitch. There's a shot. That's another bullet. So the 2-out double. The soft single and the rocket double.
Carl Willis, the pitching coach, wasn't kidding when he said they have trouble figuring out how to pitch AJ because he's now 2 for 2. That was just a high fastball. It was out over the plate. AJ was having a terrific year. He's now up over 300. Done a great job behind the plate. Drills this ball into right field. So there you look at Carl Willis. And AJ would like to get this game a little closer, but it's in the hands of Brian Anderson.
And that'll do it. 2-out double by Pierzynski. The ground out by Brian is still 3-0 bad guys. It is 3-0 Cleveland here in the top of the 5th inning in the first of this 3-game set. Barfield at the plate. Josh 0 for 1, went out to Pods in left.
This is going to be the 80th pitch for John Danks, and we're just starting this 5th inning.
Last year, after Johnny got off to a little bit of a rough start, got everything together. And there's a bullet in the left field. And just did a tremendous job the rest of the way. That now it looks like there's just a sense of urgency in his windup, especially with men on base.
Well, Hockey keeps falling behind hitters, and it really doesn't matter very much. If you're making a lot of pitches in hitters' counts, they're going to hurt you. And we know John is not feeling the pressure because he threw game 163 last year. He won that game 1-0. You can't have more pressure than that.
No, it's not the pressure at all.
That has nothing to do with what's happening now. The mechanics are just a little bit out of sorts. He's missing with his straight change. He's actually missing at times with his fastball. Even fastballs that are effective, he's missing his spots.
There's first pitch strike to Francisco, who popped to second, walked back into third, and scored. Very quick pitched him a little bit, got it by him. But when he gets out there on that glide step, when he gets out there or tries to quick pitch like he's been doing, he's out there so fast. And that's one reason, especially if he's going to throw an all-speed pitch, it's going to be up.
Well, a lot of guys don't understand, Hawk, that on a slide step you still have to stay back. It's a difficult concept for them to grasp.
Well, when Johnny spends time over the rubber, he is effective. When he doesn't spend very much time, as that's popped up, when he gets out there too quick, he is ineffective.
Well, you can actually use a slide step without bringing your body forward until the last instant. You just use a lower leg kick, but in your terminology you just use, you're right, you stay over the rubber as long as you possibly can. But it's a lot like hitting. You want to keep your weight on your back foot. The longer you can keep your weight on your back foot before you come forward, most likely the better off you're going to be.
Call it creating hang time. Pitcher has to create hang time over the rubber, not out in front of it. As he hits him on the fist right there. Can of corn right there for D. Wayne. And that is out number 2. Yeah, when you see hitters rushing out there, they're not going to do much. When you see them staying back, they're dangerous. When you see a pitcher rushing out there, they're not going to do much. When you see them hanging out over that rubber for a while, they're dangerous.
And it's really two completely different types of actions, pitching and hitting, yet the mechanics are very similar to one another as far as what you do with your body.
There's Victor. He's 0 for 2. Last time up, he just hit a bullet to Alexi at short, who had to jump high in the air to bring it down.
Martinez is a switch hitter, and probably as good a switch hitter as there is in baseball. Right-handed, he came in hitting .367. And the majority of his power is as a right-hand hitter.
That ball laced hard into left field right at Scotty Pods. And that'll do it. We're halfway home. We have yet to score. They have 3. Chicagoland viewers, how would you like to win $5 footlongs from Subway? Just be the 500th texter to text Subway to 97999. Go to WGNTV.com for complete info and rules. 3-0 bad guys. It'll be the lower third of our order. Wise, Beckham, and Getz to face Carl Pavano. Throws that fastball at 89 and grabs the strike.
He hasn't been overpowering, but Pavano's made pretty good pitches. He's got good location tonight.
He's made several outstanding pitches. That 3-2 pitch he made to Tomey. Well, that was the blueprint right there, wasn't it?
A backdoor slider, and Shopik gave him the fastball away. He didn't want it. He gave him the changeup. He didn't want it. And that's where we said at the time, you have to throw a pitch with conviction. And finally, he got to the slider, and he threw a dandy. Prorated White Sox season tickets are still available and begin with great matchups against the Dodgers and Cubs. Full season weekday and weekend plans offer the best seat locations at the lowest prices with the most benefits. Call 312-674-1000 or visit WhiteSox.com to reserve your seats today.
Here's Beckham. He popped up in short right field to Josh Barfield at second base. There's a two-hopper. So he is 0 for 2. So here's Chris. He grounded out to Peralta. This will just be the 59th pitch. That didn't take long. Wow, 1, 2, 3. And we'll go to the 6th. Three 3-0 for the Indians, 0-3-1 for our Sox. Here in the top of the 6th, it'll be Chu, Peralta, and Hafner to face Johnny Danks. Chu has gone out to left, and then he has rocketed a single to center. There's a strike, and the count 1-1.
Chu came from Seattle, and I know that he had Tommy John surgery, but it's hard to believe that Seattle would let this guy go. Apparently they couldn't live without Ben Broussard, but that was a trade that heavily favored the Indians because Chu is a really good player. He had gigantic numbers in the minor leagues.
Three balls and a strike. That ball is just killed. Hard single to center. So the count jumps up and grabs Johnny Danks on that one.
Well, an example with Chu is you see how hard he hits that one. Johnny gets the ball up. Chu hits it with overspin and crushes it. In the Southwest RoboCam, we'll take a look at a ball hit away from the defense. But part of 206, he hit 295 with the Indians. 07 hit 294. Last year at 309. This year hitting over 300 again.
Peralta can't get the high heater. He has struck out and reached on an error by Chris Getz. Two balls and a strike, one out. Check that, no outs. Beckham. And rack him up.
Well, just like the last time, Peralta was an easy double play. This time, Chris stays right in, makes a good solid throw. And Peralta doesn't have any speed. He is doubled up easily.
So here's Hafner. He has grounded to third and he has struck out. Now he is homer. And it is 4-0.
Fifth home run, ninth driven in. Hafner just back off the DL. And it's the fifth Indian hit. We'll take another look at it. AJ wants it low and away. As you can see, this one just comes rolling. And rolling breaking balls usually go out. And John, as soon as he let the ball go, knew that he hung it.
And that's going to be a souvenir in the seats right side off the bat of Garco. Garco has walked, scored, and struck out swinging on a fastball.
When you're up 4-0, guys are pretty happy about that. If you missed it earlier, Jermaine Dye is serving the first of a 2-game suspension for an incident with Mike DeMuro back on May 13th in Cleveland. Jermaine threw his helmet after a disputed called third. The helmet just happened to hit Mike DeMuro. It was unintentional, but you can't hit an umpire with the equipment.
Well, last thing in the world Jermaine Dye is going to do is hit an umpire with his helmet or anything. It just bounced the wrong way, his helmet. But on the other hand, as we were talking prior to the game, he's throws his helmet down and it bounces back.
You see DeMuro saying it was a good pitch.
See, he throws it down and it hits the bill and bounces back and catches DeMuro. And that ball hit deep into left center field. And it is 5-0. Back-to-backs by Hafner and Garko. Number 6 for Garko.
And that's the second time in the first 5 games of this homestand that the opposition has gone back-to-back. Here comes Ozzie. I would think that would probably be it for John Danks, who did such a brilliant job of getting out of that 4th inning. That time, Garko was waiting for the straight change. I'm not sure if John is tipping it, but they're staying back on the straight changes a lot.
So Danks departs, and we'll be back.
Make every home game a double play at U.S. Cellular Field this season with 2 ballpark hot dogs for the price of 1. Visit an All-Star concession stand during the first hour after gates open. For White Sox individual game tickets, call 866-SOX-GAME or visit whitesox.com. DJ Carrasco comes into this one. Carrasco 1-0, a fine ERA of 2.34, on for the 19th time. He's picked up 34 2/3 innings, and they've been very effective.
Flips that one out into short right field. Chris is there, makes the catch, and that'll retire the side. But they hit back-to-back home runs off the bats of Hafner and Garko. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th. It is 5-0 Cleveland. Now let's check out our U.S. Cellular text poll question. Believe in something better. Will Randy Johnson be the last pitcher to achieve 300 career victories? A, yes. B, no. A, yes. B, no. Just text A or B to 97999 and watch for the results later in the game.
I do know the closest to it right now, Hawk, is Jamie Moyer. And at 46 years old, he's got 250 wins. He's not going to pick up another 50.
Well, I missed it when I said Greg Maddux would be the last because of the age factor. I didn't think Johnson would get there, nor did I think Glavine would get there. I certainly am happy that they both did, as that's a bit deep, but Chu got a good jump. He's right there, so Scotty Pines is down. He's 1 for 3.
Good play by Chu, who we've seen mostly play right field. Now, the oddity of baseball is that the ball's going to go toward the line. Doesn't matter if it's a right-hander who hooks it or a left-hander who slices it. It's going to go toward the line and left. On the other side of the field, a right-hander is going to slice it, a left-hander is going to hook it, and it's still going to go toward the line.
Chu's just a good player. He's a good player. As Alexei is 0 for 2, he's gone out deep to center, and he is struck out. Tomorrow afternoon, Gavin Floyd against Jeremy Sowers, and that game will be over WFLD. Fox. Peralta's got him. 2 down. It is 6 in a row retired by Pavano, and 12 out of the last 13.
A lot of folks talked about Pavano when he made the third starter of the Indians, somewhat surprisingly after the last few years, but he's making a believer out of us tonight because he's thrown exceptionally well.
Reminds me a little bit of a former Cleveland right-hander, only Dave Burba had a little better curveball, but the same kind of stuff.
Dave Burba at one point, Hawk, threw the ball real hard, and he was with Cincinnati. At one point, Sammy Sosa was 0 for 27 with 26 strikeouts against him because he couldn't hit the letter-high fastball.
Tommy 0 for 2. He is struck out and grounded to second, or grounded to short right field where Barfield is playing now.
This is where Jimmy has a chance to hit .551.
And that's ball 4. Well, the first walk issued by Pavano.
Don't miss your chance to get the best seats available for the June matchups against the Indians, the 6th and the 7th, and the Tigers, June 8th through the 11th. To purchase individual game tickets, call 866-SOX-GAME or visit whitesox.com.
So here's Pauly. Pauly is 0 for 2.
Tony Wisdom at the game tonight. Boy, is he over his skis.
Tony. Pauly checks it up, fouls it back.
He was up here in the booth with us, interning.
Yeah, there's Tony.
We taught him everything we knew. Took a day and a half.
Where's all the gel?
I don't know. I mean, he's got all of a sudden he's got a new hairstyle.
He looked like a snowplow before.
I don't understand it.
That ball hit hard right at Garco. And that'll do it. We'll go to the 7th. It is still 5-0. DJ Carrasco's first pitch, strike to Josh Barfield, who is 1 for 2.
Not a pretty picture so far as the Sox have been shut out.
Breaking ball, and the count 0-2.
Thing I can't believe, Hawk, we've been shut out 8 times this year.
That's a lot.
And this is I know Carlos Quentin is missing, and I know that's a big part of the equation. Jermaine Dye tonight is missing. Still is a pretty good lineup.
And that young man with the blue shirt right there, Tony Wisdom, for anybody out there who is in sports marketing or sports management, you want to hire yourself a #1 draft pick. You're looking at him. That's a sharp young man. Terrific personality, just graduated from college. As that breaking ball hit down. Tony Wisdom. And that's out #1.
Barfield looks completely different with a right-hander on the mound than a left-hander. Now there's a young man who's having quite a game.
That looks like Snowman, our grandson. As he gets done with that ice cream.
Plus he's got it in his eyes, in his hair. And here's our high-def shot of the game. Mom, of course, as moms do, taking care of him. He's really happy about having his face wiped off. He said, I'm only halfway through this.
1-1 the count.
He's got it on his head, his ears.
Francisco 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. He has popped up to second, popped up to first. Came in hitting at 263, now at 260. And the count evens at 2. Cincinnati hitting in the bottom of the 9th inning, trailing the Cubs 2-1. Rangers leading the Red Sox 5-1, top of the 9th. Outfield about equidistant, spread out slightly to the left. Yes, he did. He gone.
That was a sharp breaking ball by DJ Carrasco. Ben Francisco couldn't believe it, but believe it he must. That ball in the dirt, AJ does a nice job of picking it out of the dirt. You can get away with that backhand if you can get that exact short hop.
Well, that's where experience comes into play, because if you're going to try to get in on the short hop, you got to make sure if you miss, as DeRosa goes down, if you miss, it's going to be because the ball goes over your glove, not under it.
Fastball up and in.
DeRosa, that 3-run homer in the third.
You want to make those hitters occasionally move their feet.
Well, as a rule, that's generally what happens when they do. As that's a nice, easy inning right there. Meanwhile, 7th inning stretch, and we need 5 to tie.
Need this for anything? Here's a look at the Miller scoreboard on a roll. Detroit losing is certainly nice. Bottom of the 7th inning, and Carl Pavano has held the Sox to just 3 hits. It's a 5-0 game. Sox are going to have to lead it off with the one guy who's figured out Pavano, and that's A.J. Pierzynski. Anderson and Wise to follow, and if they get on, Gordon Beckham will have his opportunity. He's seen just 2 pitches tonight.
A.J. with a single back through the middle, and then a rocket double into the corner and right. Fires that one. Oh, nice catch. One-handed, no glove. By one of the fans in the LG Skyline Club seats. Wow.
It's amazing when you sit up there, you become a much better fielder.
It's amazing when you stand closer to the plate how much faster your bat gets, too. And that has popped up. Taking it over is the win over to Chu. So Crow, who just went into center field. Francisco moves to right. And that's out number 1.
Well, you can understand at this point why they would go to a little speedier set. Ryan Garco has done his job for tonight. He walked leading off the 3rd and scored, hit a home run in the 6th, and so he departs for a faster outfield.
Trevor Crow, as there's a big hack, foul back.
Scott Linebrink loosening up in the pen. And another solid job by DJ Carrasco, if indeed that is his inning in the 3rd. That remains to be seen.
There's DJ. His stock is going straight up.
Well, he's had a terrific year.
He's actually making it look easy.
Well, Hawk, you know, you have a certain amount of guys that throw when you're behind and a certain amount of guys that throw when you're ahead. he started out this year as a guy that would consistently throw when we were behind.
2 down.
That was a change up in the dirt. Ryan well out in front of it, but Carrasco's at the point now where he's going to be the first man out of the bullpen, and it's probably going to be regardless of what the score is, because he's been pretty close to untouchable.
Well, Steve, that position has become so much bigger in the game of baseball in the last 10 to 15 years. And it coincides with the fewer innings that starters are going. That position grows in stature. So the first man out, and which DJ is becoming one of the best, that position is so big now because of the fact if your offense is cooking, which ours is not right now, but when it does, if your starter goes out there like Banks and gives up 3 in the third, and say he gave up 2 in the fourth, and he's out of there, you're still in the ball game.
And you have to have,
that's what DJ has done.
Well, you have to have a guy that will keep you in, and a guy that will also get you out of a problem. And I think DJ can do both. He can not only start an inning, but he can get you out of a jam.
Flips that one foul down the left field line. Well, the way he's throwing, he could do anything he wanted him to do.
And I think there was a time in spring training where, although DJ thought that he was going to be here for sure, it was still a question because there was an open competition for that bullpen. DJ won it, and he's done nothing but proven the Sox right about that choice.
That ball hit deep into center field. Trevor Crowe got a good jump back right in front of the track, hauls it in. And that'll retire the side. Another 1-2-3 inning for Carl Pavano.
Friday, June 26th, 3:05. It's the White Sox versus the Cubs. Come out to U.S. Cellular Field on Friday, June 26th, as Miller Lite gives one lucky fan a chance to pitch for $1 million. Miller Lite, the ultimate light beer.
Top of the 8th inning. Victor Martinez, Jin-Soo Choo, and Johnny Peralta. Line break. Victor can't get it upstairs. Victor's 0 for 3, and he's hit it really hard twice.
The numbers on Scott Linebrink, and the bullpen all season long has been one of the true bright spots of this team.
There's a bullet. So the leadoff man aboard.
Victor's hit nothing but line drives tonight. 2 from the right side that wound up in gloves. The Southwest RoboCam will take a look at his first hit, but he's swinging the bat real well from both sides of the plate.
Chua's 2 for 3.
Got that batting average up to 303 and that on base percentage up to 411.
Two another count. He has gone out to left, singled into left, and singled into right center. And the count 3-0. So line, leadoff man aboard, and a 3-0 count on the second hitter. There's one.
You can get him to hit the ball on the ground. He hits it awfully hard. He'll ground into his 7th double play.
He is short and quick. Once again, a reminder, tomorrow make your plans to be with us here at beautiful U.S. Cellular Field. Gavin Floyd against Jeremy Sowers. And if you can't make it, that game will be over Fox. And on Sunday, in the finale of this 3-game set, Bartolo Colon against his former mates and David Huff. And that game will be over Comcast Sportsnet.
David Huff, a former #1 draft choice, young left-hander for these Indians.
So some more trouble brewing right here. And right now, let's check out our U.S. Cellular text poll question and the results. Will Randy Johnson be the last pitcher to achieve 300 career victories? 27% said yes. 73% said no. As there's the strike to Peralta. Well, my son Casey called me today, and he was talking about, I forget who he said it was, a report on would there be another 300-game winner. As that's outside, and I think he said it was Tim Kurtju who was making the report, if I'm not mistaken. He said CeCe would have to average 18 victories a year for the next 10 years to get to 300.
Yeah.
And 18 is the most he's ever won in one season. But he said, this is the part I like. He said that the next 300 winner, if there's going to be one, is there's a ground ball. This should be. Nice pick by Paulie. 2 down. Second double play turn by the Sox.
That was a strong effort by Chris Getz because Chu was right on top of him, and he stayed right there to make the throw. So,
but he said the next 300 winner, if there was going to be one, is probably about 3 or 4 years old right now.
Well, I believe that because I don't think anybody currently throwing in the major leagues with, say, over 100 wins right now. I don't think there's anybody right now that's going to stay around long enough or be durable enough to get there.
Well, there's another factor, too. And the factor being, unless you get somebody that is really surreal to today's culture in baseball, besides having the ability to win 300 games, he's got to have the bullpen to get in there. So, I mean, And you put all those factors together, and I would say that in my lifetime, there's not going to be. Certainly in Lisa's lifetime, there will be, probably.
That might happen. There's only been 24 of them in the history of this game.
Hafner can't get it, and the count 0-2.
One of the guys I thought, Hawk, that might have had a shot, but he got hurt the last few years of his career was Pedro Martinez. He was probably good enough to do it.
There's no question about it. He was good enough to do it.
And he was in the National League, which is a good place to be.
Matt Abatacola. So Lime gets in trouble, pitches his way out of it, throwing the double play ball to Peralta and gets Hafner on the grounder to Konerko.
Okay.
Right now it's time to have a ball with the Illinois Lottery. Some of the 29,825. Even though the score is 5-0 bad guys, they have been having a good time here at beautiful U.S. Cellular Field as Gordon Beckham hits the first pitch into short center field. So 1 pitch, 1 out.
That's 3 pitches he's seen tonight.
Gordon has popped to second, grounded to short, and now popped to center. And that'll bring up Chris Getz, who has grounded to short and grounded to second.
The Indians' premier setup man, Rafael Betancourt, is disabled.
You know, we're catching some clubs here after coming off that wonderful road trip where we won 2 out of 3 in Anaheim and swept the Royals in Kansas City, including Greinke, the last day. Running into an Oakland club that has not been playing well, and that is just foul.
And also has had a whole lot of injuries to that team.
And running into a Cleveland club that has not been playing well and had a whole lot of injuries here. So, I mean, you know, it's if. What's that old saying? If you don't score, you can't win.
No, well, that's been proven any number of times. The Indians did bring back Rafael Perez from the minor leagues, and he was really a mystery man because for a number of years he was really tough.
Well, since he put on the Cleveland uniform.
And what happened, Hawk, he had a really good spring, went to the World Baseball Classic, came back, was throwing the ball pretty decent, and all of a sudden just started missing. And lost his release point and lost his control. They sent him down to the minor leagues and told him, you got to throw the ball better than that because you can't pitch up here. Now he's back. And when he's right, he's one of the better left-handed setup men in the game.
Here's Pides. Pides leading off the bottom of the first. Hit a deep fly ball in the center, hit on the track, bounced over the fence for a ground rule double. And we couldn't score him.
Pavano has yet to complete a game. This is his 12th start. He's at the 90 pitch mark. And I think Shopik went out there to find out how he was feeling. He's only given up 3 hits. See, this will be pitch number 91.
But it's been an easy 90. There's a big difference, Stevie. You know yourself. Is here is the double play. And that'll retire the side. We'll go to the 9th. On tonight's Toyota Moving Forward, the focus is on Matt Thornton. Thornton has been lights out against left-handed hitters this year. He has faced 35 of them. He has allowed only 4 hits and has struck out 19 of them. Left-handers are batting a meager 114 against the Sox left-handed swingman.
Well, he's been just out of this world. And Bobby Jenks comes in, and when you don't get in many save situations, you have to keep your closer sharp. And so Bobby comes on, non-save situation, out for the 19th time, and even 3 as far as an ERA is concerned.
Trevor Crowe takes ball 1. Well, we're in a spot right here. It's the catch-22 in a way. We have the best bullpen in the American League, the best performing bullpen in the American League, and the only innings we can get them are just to get some work in.
Yep. Well, closers will rust away before they will wear away. Setup men are different. They pitch a lot more.
There's the strike and the count 2-1. We talk about our good bullpen. Boy, just can't say enough about Juan Nieves down there, as that's out of play left side. In the LG Skyline Club seats, as there's one. What a great looking pitcher he was. He could get it up there in a hurry, threw a no-hitter when he was with the Milwaukee Brewers, and then hurt his arm.
Well, unfortunately, for whatever reason, Hawk, there were a lot of Brewer pitchers that fell into that category. They were real good, and unfortunately, then their careers were cut short by injury, and Juan was one of those guys. But when he was right, he was just out of this world.
Yeah. Yep. There's a fair ball laced down into the corner.
For Crow, the third triple of the year. And this is why ERAs for closers are irrelevant. Because when they come in to pick up an inning of work, that adrenaline isn't there. I don't know if this run is going to score or not. But it's just a different mindset for guys who are used to coming in, closing out a game, getting a save, and going in a game when they just need an inning of work.
Chapik can't get it. He's 0 for 3. He struck out, going out deep to right, and popped up the second. And the count 0-2. You're looking at half of the ninth inning. It'll be Ramirez, Thome, Konerko, Pierzynski, and hopefully a host of others as we trail it 5-0.
Well, the bullpen is up and going for the Indians, so that probably will be it for Carl Pavano. This undoubtedly is as good as he's pitched all year. Luis Vizcaíno loosening up in the pen. This is a former White Sox.
Yes, he is. He's a good guy. Nice guy. As there's a breaking ball. Throws him out. Return throw. No. So Crow moves into third on the force out. One down.
Well, this is not a great base running play on the part of Crow. Beckham looks at him. He's got plenty of time. That throw off the mark, and Crow is almost out at third base.
So now the infield comes in for Josh Barfield, who's 1 for 3. Well, the mindset when you're talking about Vizcaíno coming on, maybe the mindset is a lot different now. There was a time that you get a guy with a 5-0 lead going to the ninth inning. You couldn't get him out of there with a jackhammer.
It's true. And it's not like Pavano has thrown a lot of pitches, because he hasn't tonight.
And it's been an easy game for him. It's been easy game, Steve. It's just been stress-free.
Well, a lot of pitches with very little distress. Give up a leadoff double in the first inning. Got out of it easily. Leadoff single in the second inning. Got out of it easily. And then one other base hit, and that came with 2 outs in the fourth. So when you only walk a couple of guys and you keep it under 100 pitches, that's a pretty good job by Carl Pavano.
Well, and the thing about it is, it might be that he wants to finish it off, and Eric Wedge won't let him. I mean, that's the mindset of management as well as some of the players. We don't know what the story is right here, but it's been an easy 90-something pitches for Pavano this evening if you're just tuning in.
And Pavano came in with an ERA of 5.29, and he had averaged 5 2/3 innings per start. Got 8 of them tonight to this point.
Full count to Barfield. Yeah. I played with some pitchers that if they had the same scenario and the manager wanted to take them out, they'd have to fight it. And that's foul.
Well, especially with a shutout.
Talking about
now,
shutout.
yeah, I was going to say, now if it's, if you're talking about a game that's 7-1, 9-2, something like that.
100% different, 180 degrees.
Turn it over, let your bullpen get a little work.
No, that's the scenario. You got a shutout going with a 5-run lead. No way you're going to get him out of it.
Hubby's trying to get him with sinkers. And Barfield is battling.
And once again, the payoff. And there's a base hit. So it's 6-0.
White Sox Diamond Suites are perfect for a client entertainment, family parties, or a night out with friends. Provide first-class service while enjoying White Sox baseball. To reserve a Diamond Suite, call 312-674-1000 or visit whitesox.com for more details.
There's a strike to Francisco, who is 0 for 3 with a walk and a run scored. And ends with 3 1/3. They scored 3 1/3 on 1 hit. Johnny Danks walked the leadoff hitter, Garco. Struck out Shopping. Got Barfield to go out to left. Then he walked Ben Francisco and then DeRosa, the 3-run homer.
Don Cooper on the phone. Looks like the bullpen is fairly quiet, at least to this point. But I think Juan Nieves is going to get somebody up. They don't want Bobby to throw too many pitches. They're not worried about anything but the amount of pitches that he's throwing tonight.
And that is out number 2.
It's a good curveball. Settles over the inside part of the plate.
So here's DeRosa. 1 for 4. He now has 9 homers and 37 knocked in. Takes a breaking ball strike. Gavin Floyd against Jeremy Sowers tomorrow afternoon. Make your plans to be with us here at the ballpark. If you can't, that game will be over Fox. Off the fist. They put 1 on the board. We'll go to the bottom of the 9th. It is 6-0 Indians.
White Sox.
Carl Pavano out on that bump, and right now let's check out tonight's AM/PM player of the game. You're looking at it. 33-year-old right-hander, 6'5", 240 pounds. Has gone 8 innings, giving up no runs, 3 hits, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts. Just too much good stuff from Carl Pavano.
He's still in the game, so Eric Wedge wants him to finish it up.
I would certainly imagine he asked him what he wanted to do. And here is Alexei, who is 0 for 3. Takes strike 1. Pavano, in his career, has 4 shutouts, 3 in the National League, trying for number 5. The worst part about it from our standpoint, the 9th shutout if he gets it for us this season. And the 3rd in the last 4 games.
Kyle's been able to run that fastball in on most of the hitters' hands tonight. And with just 3 hits to this point, really just a couple of hard hit balls. Pavano's been in control from pretty much the start of the game till now.
So here's Big Jim Thome 0 for 2 with a walk. Takes a strike on the corner. And that's low and away. High, just missed it. Towering pop up to center field. And that's out number 2. And that'll bring up Paulie. Paulie is 0 for 3. Last time up, lined out hard to right field. Paulie now 2 for 12 lifetime off the big right-hander. I haven't watched every pitch, but have you seen him hit 90 tonight?
I think he topped out at 91.
I haven't seen him hit 90 all night.
But I saw that early. And after that, Hawk, he's just been moving the ball around. He's had a good straight change. A lot of them have been diving out of the zone, but he's pretty much just hit his spots.
Well, tonight he's thrown it through a teacup.
Yeah.
Just misses the inside corner. And the count 2-1. Pierzynski on deck.
This will be 101 for pitches for Carl Pavano.
And that is into right field. When this ball comes down, this game will be over. So the Sox get shut out for the 9th time this year. And lose their 4th straight, and we'll be back. And right now, let's check out our Miller Genuine Draft plays of the game. This coming in the 6th inning with 2 out. Hafner. Bam. Oh, check that. These are the 4 drives of the game. And then backed up by Garko. Our 4 drives of the game. Back-to-back homers by Hafner and Garko, and we'll be back.
By Toyota. See your Toyota dealer now to start saving now.
And now we'll check out our Miller Genuine Draft play of the game coming in the 3rd inning. A scoreless tie, 2 out, 2 on, and Mark DeRosa at the plate off Johnny Danks, and you can put it on the board. Johnny had walked Garko, and he had walked Francisco, and DeRosa made him pay. And the final totals on tonight's game, the first of this 3-game set. For the Indians, 6 runs, 9 hits, no errors. They left 5. For our Sox, no runs, just 3 hits, 1 error. We left 3. Pavano, the winner, he is 6-4. Danks takes the loss. He is 4-4. And a reminder, our next White Sox telecast will be Monday afternoon for Game 1 of the Sox and Tigers day-night doubleheader. Our broadcast begins at 1 p.m. over WGN TV, and White Sox baseball in high definition is sponsored by Comcast. So for my partner, Steve Stone, for our Hall of Fame director, Jim Angio, for our producer, John Walgren, for the mayor, Mean Joe Grew, also up here in the booth. We've got Mike Clay, Wynn Griffiths, Deb Merrill, Ryan Gailey. This is a Hawk. So long, everybody.
Chicago White Sox baseball has been brought to you by Miller Lite. Triple hops brewed Miller Lite. Great taste, less filling. By Toyota. See your Toyota dealer now to start saving now. The Illinois Lottery. Play the Illinois Lottery. Have a ball. By Comcast. Catch more games on HD and Comcast digital cable. Call 1-888 or Best TV today. And by Southwest Airlines. Southwest Airlines is ready when you are. Go to southwest.com. Grab your bag. It's on.